good morning everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lee, your virtual airline pilot, back with you again with the second of this week's reviews. It's early morning and we're in the Far East. We're actually in Okinawa, on the island of Okinawa in Japan, and you're looking at the new scenery of NAHA Airport in Okinawa. Romeo Oscar Alpha Hotel. This is a new scenery by MK Studios, and this is the release version 1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Download comes in at 1.6 gig and it installs at 2.39 gig. It's available from a variety of vendors at the moment. Simmarket, Orbix and the CONTRIAL shop all have it available for sale. It's currently on offer at the CONTRIAL shop for UK £13.65. No indication as to whether that includes tax or VAT. If it does include tax, then it does represent quite a discount at the moment. But I'll give you the Simmarket price at the moment, which includes tax and VAT. They're selling it for €19.79, which equates to roughly $21.68 US, or £16.90 UK. As ever, US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which could vary depending on which country you're in when you make the purchase. As I said, it's currently on offer at the CONTRIAL shop for £13.65 UK, and again, not sure if this includes tax. This is a massive project. As you can see, it's a big airport, 2 double huge runways, lots of buildings, and work inside the terminal's been done as well, and terraforming. The ocean areas around the airport are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So let's look at the features that we have with the scenery. So features, we have highly detailed rendition of NAHA Okinawa Airport, Romeo Oscar Alpha Hotel, various points of interest or POIs, up-to-date custom ground layout and stands, custom jetways, custom vehicle models, and they also include the landside aero train, which I think is a MAGLEV. First time I've seen that in a scenery. Detailed coastline model, runway profile and elevation data, high quality terminal interior model, custom approach, runway, taxiway lights, ILS and other objects, custom taxiway labels, hangar interior, and apparently it's triggered by the nav light, so there's obviously a hangar here that you can open or close. And it's AI compatible, so quite a list of features. Just had a quick look at the train. It is indeed a MAGLEV. Very interesting. So let's have a look at some history. So history. NAHA International Airport, Romeo Oscar Alpha Hotel, is a public/stroke military use airport owned and operated by the Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. The airport is located 2.5 miles or around 4 kilometers west of the city of NAHA in Okinawa Prefecture, Japan. It is Japan's 6th busiest airport and the primary air terminal for passengers and cargo travelling to and from the island of Okinawa. It handles scheduled international traffic to Taiwan, Hong Kong, South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore and mainland China. The airport is also home to the NAHA Air Base of the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. NAHA Airport is the hub for Japan Trans-Ocean Air, which connects Okinawa Prefecture with other prefectures of Japan, and Ryukyu Air Commuter, which connects Okinawa main island with the surrounding islands. Oroku Aerodrome, an Imperial Japanese Navy airfield, opened in 1933. The base was taken over by the United States in 1945 and was renamed NAHA Airport. Pan American World Airways and Northwest Orient began services to NAHA in 1947. The airport was closed for refurbishment between 1952 and 54, and Japan Airlines began services to Okinawa during this time, initially using Kadena Air Base. Air America operated inter-island flights to Miyako and Ishigi from 1964 to 67, when Southwest Airlines, now Japan Transocean Air, took over these routes. Okinawa was returned to Japan in 1972. In 1982, NAHA Airport was transferred from US military control to the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. The new international terminal opened in February 2014 and was later expanded by 32,000 square foot or 3,000 square meters in November 2016. A new building connecting the domestic and international terminals was completed in 2019, and the second runway began operation in March 2020. A low-cost carrier terminal, or LCCT, has been in operation there since 2012. In addition, a 6-lane under-bay tunnel highway for auto transport linking the airport with NAHA Port was completed in 2011. Peach, a low-cost carrier based at Kansai International Airport in Osaka, announced that it would establish its second hub at NAHA in July 2014, which would initially have flights to Osaka, Fukuoka, Ishigi and Taipei. NAHA Airport is a 24-hour airport and served 21.5 million passengers in 2018, and is currently the main destination for the longest domestic flight in Japan on the daily route between New Chitose and NAHA, operated by Peach Aviation. This flight takes 4 hours. So there you go, that's some history for you. Again, an airport that started during the World War, had control checks changed from various organisations, and now is owned by the Japanese government effectively. The scenery really does it justice from what you can see here. It's just a beautiful setting. So that was history. Let's look at runways now. So runways. NAHA Airport operates 2 main parallel runways. Runway 36 right 18 left measures 9,843 feet or 3,000 meters. Runway 36 left 18 right measures 8,858 feet or 2,700 meters. Both runways are made from an asphalt concrete mix and they are both fully grooved. The airport lies at an elevation of just 11 feet or 3.3 meters and sits within the GMT UTC plus 9 hours time zone. Now, NAHA does not observe daylight saving time or DST, and with the UK currently 1 hour ahead of GMT UTC on summertime, NAHA Airport is now just 8 hours ahead of the UK. So let's look at the runways in detail. Runway 36 right, 36 left. We're looking at both runways here. They feature high intensity runway lights, centerline lighting, approach lighting system with sequence flashing lights, touchdown zone lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side. And you can see from this shot we're pretty much okay here. We've got the approach lighting system as per the charts on both sides. I can't see if they're flashing or not. We'll take a close look in a second. We've got the high intensity lighting. Pappies are on the left there. So let's have a quick look at 36 right. So here's 36 right, and they've got the lighting systems correct, but I don't seem to see anything flashing. But that's no real problem. The lighting is exactly as it should be. And here, looking at the close-up there, you can see the touchdown zone lighting and the centerline lighting as it should be. Here's 36 left. Again, you've got the same approach lighting, although I can't see anything flashing. And here's 36 left close up, and again you can see the center line and the touchdown zone lighting. So the runway aids that they've got there are correct, exactly as they should be. So approaches at these 2 runways are exactly the same. You have standard instrument landing system with X, Y and Z options, and there's also an RNP approach option as well. So that does it for this end. There are separate issues at the other end. So first let's go and have a look at runway 18 right. So here we are looking down the photo of runway 18 right, which features the same high intensity runway lighting and centerline lighting. Again, we have approach lighting system with sequence flashing lights, and we've got the approach lights there, but I can't see anything flashing. Touchdown zone lighting and precision approach path indicators on the left side. And once again there you can see the touchdown zone lighting on this runway. Approaches for this end, again you have a standard instrument landing system and you have an RNP approach option too. So let's look at 18 left finally. So here we are looking down the slope to runway 18 left, which features high intensity runway lighting, high intensity airfield lighting, centerline lighting, which we've got there, touchdown zone lighting, and again precision approach path indicators on the left side. So all of these runways are all correct. You've got the centerline, touchdown zones in the right place, PAPI's on the right side. You have the approach lighting system, but it doesn't seem to flash. It may be the time of day, and what we'll do is we'll revisit this during the darkness hours and see if there are anything flashing. And finally, approaches for 18 left, all you have here is an RN pre-approach option only for this runway. And if you've got the charts from Navigraph, you'll find that these runway also features TACAN VOR B and C approach options. There's also radar parallel approach options as well. And also note, in the real world, ships often pass directly under runway 18 left approach path. That's down here. So pilots beware. Don't know whether we've got anything moving underneath the 18 left approach path here in the scenery. Something for you guys to look out for. So that was runways. Now let's have a look at a jetway test. Okay, so here we are on stand 4-3. This is where I parked last night, having arrived on leg 37 of the world tour. Here we've got the VAP Air Phoenix A320 parked on the stand, and time to do a jetway test. So let's test the jetway, see how it goes. So motion looks good, but I've got a feeling it's going to go right through that baggage truck. And indeed it does. Pity really, because the jetway motion is excellent. The stairs are at the right angle, they're not going to go into the concrete. And to be honest, that looks reasonably good, although the hood has gone right through the skin, unfortunately. Pretty severely right through the skin. Okay, so let's get a closer look. And it looks good from the outside, but clearly you can see it's gone right through. Let's check the other side. And again, it looks good. It's just a pity that I think it really has gone right through. There's the baggage truck, and as you can see, the wheels would have gone straight through. In fact, indeed they did. Let's go inside the jetway doorway now. Right, as you can see, the jetway sides have gone pretty much right up through the aircraft, so much so that this really is as far back as I can show you without impinging the door. If I go back a little more, there you can see we've actually gone through the end of the jetway door. Here's the view from inside, and here we are in the forward seat bulkhead just behind the door, and you can see the jetway hood has actually gone right through the skin. And same is true of the flight deck. Here we are, and you can see the jetway hood really gone right through the skin of the aircraft. That's a real pity, because the jetway looks pretty impressive, certainly the way it connects. So there's a jetway as seen from this side, and as you can see they look good. They're nicely textured and modelled. It's a real pity about this. It's the only drawback I have really. Two little drawbacks with this is the, this is part of the scenery. It's not been generated by GSX. This is on this stand, and I think it's on another stand as well, and unfortunately the jetway is going to go right through it. So MK Studios, if you're watching this, nice bit of scenery, but maybe move it back a little bit. And the other issue is probably looking at the hood and the placement here. I've spawned straight from the menu, and the aircraft's gone on to the first marker there, so it's spawned pretty reasonable, but as you can see the hood has gone right in through the skin. So for example, the new feature with GSX where you're going to be looking at people getting off, you're not going to be able to see much here because there's no gap, but you will see them through the windows up on the other side here. So let's disconnect the jetway. Now that's interesting. The jetway swings away and it looks like it's going to miss the truck. But on the way in, it doesn't. That's a real interesting thing. I think we're talking minor adjustments here. All in all, it looks pretty good. No complaints really at all. It's great. On the stands, they usually have safe areas here marked out for the jetway operations. There aren't any here. To be honest, I don't know if they exist at the real airport. But yeah, this Nice bit of scenery, but could do with maybe just being moved back a bit so it doesn't infringe the motion of the jetway. And if they could look at the way the hood connects, I think we'd be okay. So there you go, folks, that was the jetway test. So as usual, let's get on to the main scenery itself and have a good look over this project. Okay, so let's start the main tour. This is a big airport and lots to see, so I'll try and get in as much as I can, but I don't want to make the video too long. There's lots for you to explore here. We're starting at the northern end. What you see there to the right is runway 18 left, and you can see there's some beautiful modelling here on the coastline itself and the way it's all been done. So let's just start a tour. We'll have a look at the airport airside from low level, and to be honest, the detail is really quite impressive. I mean, look at this below us, it's wonderful. So you've got the ground markings. There's my aircraft parked on stand 43 to the left there. That's a domestic terminal. And here you've got the satellites. And it just looks good. The ground markings are really good. Concrete textures are brilliant. As we go further south on this eastern side, you've got hangars here. Some of which open, I believe, using the nav light. Something I've got to test at some point, but I'll let you figure that out. But as you can see, loads of detail, all really nicely modelled. Such a large airport. It's really nice indeed. And it just goes on forever. And there you've got little islands and things to the right there with buildings and hotels on them. There's so much for you to see here. Oh, it's stunning, it really is. It's been wonderfully modelled and integrated into the scenery. I love the way the watermasking has been done here. And just such a fantastic place to explore. Look at it. It's beautiful scenery. So as we travel back airside here, you can see various hangars, military equipment as well. It's really good. And more military hardware down there, and stuff landside as well, which we've yet to look at. And loads of detail. There you can see the aerotrain landside track, or the MAGLEV as I've got to call it. That's the track there. We'll take a look at that in a bit. But here you can see the quality of modelling on buildings. There you've got people on the viewing area. So we now come out to the main airport itself. This is domestic terminal. We will have a look inside at some point, but you can see there is internal modelling. You can see it through the windows. These are the satellite piers. Actually, I think I got that wrong. The terminal we just looked at was the domestic terminal. This is the international terminal. And custom jetways that all work, we've just tested that. But plenty of ground clutter. Some lovely concrete textures. Now, it's interesting that only at one or two stands you've got these that baggage trolley there that interferes with the jetway wheels. But apart from that, and the other ones look okay. Got a couple of aircraft out here. But as you can see, the detail here is just amazing. All the roads are 3D modelled. Plenty of equipment that's specific to the airport. Buildings look great. So let's have a quick tour landside, because landside is just as beautifully done as airside. There you can see signage, cars parked. It's just lovely. The trees are great. Terminal's beautifully done. The vegetation there looks good and kind of makes it look really good too. Let's come down a bit here. And here you can see we've got static cars and we've got people outside the terminal. Which is great. It really is. Very nice indeed. There's the aero train, or the maglev. I should call it the maglev because that's what it is. It's a magnetic levitated train. There's no wheels. It's all magnetically done. It goes up to the station behind us. Down there, wonderful palm trees, road signage as well. The detail is really good. It's nicely done. It's just, you know, wherever you look, they've done a wonderful job. So let's just whiz across to the western side here. You've got this area between the two runways where you've got the control tower. And various buildings here. And other aircraft parking spots too. And helicopters. I love the Japanese markings. They really lend to the authenticity of it. So there from the outside you can see the tower has been developed. Let's pop in. There you can see fully developed inside, everything right down to the carpet. Unfortunately no controllers. It's I never quite get my head around this. I mean, you've got people inside the terminal and standing out landside passengers. They've done a really great job with that. And they've gone to the length of modelling the control tower here, but they've not put anybody in it. I really can't get my head around that. And there's a view looking out the other way. So a couple of shots here where we're parked on the stand. This is what you guys are really interested in. Here we are on stand 43. And as I said, it looks like the other stands are not affected by this truck that's in the wrong position. But as you can see, the detail is really nice. You've even got some engineers over by those vehicles on the other side of the road there. So we have a little trip down the road just so you can see what it's like. And as you can see, you know, nothing's been left to chance. Even the headroom has been marked on the overhead things there. There's just some lovely detail. We'll just travel across the stand here. And there you can see internal development, which we will look at shortly. It's a wonderful scenery, beautifully done. So while we're here, let's take a minute or two to have a look from inside the flight deck. Here's my Airbus A320, the Phoenix, parked on stand 43. This is the view out of the front. There's a view from the captain's side and looking out the first officer's window. So let's go inside the terminal, see what we can see. We'll start with the lower end. Go in through the doorway here. So here we are, gate 43 airside. And here we travel along the airside sort of corridor lounge, call it what you want. I mean, plenty of figures and some nice modelling. The signs are really good. There you got the gates and the airline desks. And here looking at gate 41, there's another example of really good quality modelling. We're right up close and you can still read all the details on the departures board. So we're just tracking the other direction, gate 43 there to the left, just to see what else is here. Can't see any way in from security or wherever, but anyway, nicely done. And here we are ending at gate 48 on the upper side. And they've even modelled the stairwell. There you go, down to the entrance doors at the bottom from this upper area. And there from the outside you can see the stairs go right down to the door, which leads us onto the other jetway there. So here we are at the international terminal. Let's go in through the glass and have a look. And another interior development that looks to be well modelled. So here on the international side you can actually see a lot more. There just seems to be a lot more detail here. It just looks good. Let's do a little travelling. So passengers and various bits and pieces here. Duty free, which is closed. There you can see walkways, escalators that go one way. And we'll just have a little look down here. Nice view out of the windows as well. I bet this looks good at night. The people models are quite good. The terminal environment here looks a little bit bare, but you know what, no real complaints. I mean, it's beautifully done. Let's just travel a bit quicker. See what we've got up here. Oh, there's loads of it. Excellent. Okay, some more seating up here and a few more people by the looks of it. So we travel across the top of the terminal. Let's have a look at landside here, the road development. Here you can see loads of signage. All the roads have been done in 3D, complete with Japanese markings as well. I believe this is the cargo area. And again, lots of modelling. It's all been done. In the distance there you've got a cruise ship by the port. Don't know if that's part of the modelling here or whether it's a default. But it all adds to the ambience. Love the seawall. Beautifully done. Not much to say, it's just been well done. So your cargo haulers are also well taken care of. So a closer look landside, just at some of the areas we didn't look at. We've seen the terminal landside and we've got people there. Here you've got landside roads and you've got some terrain, I wouldn't call them issues, but you've got terrain sort of defects here that they've actually gone with. They've done really well by just modelling over the terrain, and it looks quite acceptable. There on the right you've got multi-storey car parks, and look at the signage, beautiful. And there you've got buses. Here you've got the landside roads. There's the domestic terminal car park. Here we're coming up to the station. And there's the MAGLEV train. The only thing it doesn't do, and it's just nitpicking, is the doors don't stop at the right gaps. But as you can see, there's modelling on the train, which I think is parallaxing. But that just allows you, gives you the illusion of people being in there. That's really nice. So that was a quick tour around the airport during the day. Still loads for you to see that I haven't covered. We'll cover a little bit more here as we drop it down to dusk. Let's have a look at the lighting here. Okay, 6:05 in the evening local time. It's middle of August 2024, and this is the view you'll see as the airport begins to come to life. Light came on about 3 or 4 minutes ago, and already you can see it's very subtle, beautifully lit areas, green centerline lights to help you get around, blue airfield edge lights. The runway is clearly marked. You'll have no problem getting on and off the runway at dusk. And there we are looking northeast. There you've got the cargo point. There's the control tower and the other part of the airport there. It's stunning, it really is. Now here we are, you can see the lights do flash. Now actually they don't seem to flash very much during the day, but you can see they do flash here. So I'm guessing that this works on all 4 runways, and that completes the navigation aids for the runways. So MK Studios have got it all correct. Well done to them. So let's do an airside ramp tour as usual and have a look at the buildings close up and the ramp area. And it's nice. It's very nice. Building's got just the right amount of light. And even the ends of the jetways are lit, which is a real nice touch. So we'll have a quick look inside here. From outside it looks great. And there you go, nice development here. People, stairwells, multi-layers, It does look good, it really does. And there you can see a nice view out through the windows where the sun's going down. Oh, it's just great, isn't it? It really is. And this is landside, looking a little bit sort of ghostish here, a little bit dead. And there you can see all the check-in check-in counters in the distance, and you've got the self-service check-in machines there too. And looking the other way, there you've got more check-in desks. Just a pity that the landside terminal's got nobody in it. There's a few people waiting outside, we saw those earlier. And they've got all this wonderful modelling, but nobody inside. Here's the view landside. As we've said, you've got people there, which looks great. Just a pity that none of them are inside. There's the train, which unfortunately is not lit. I really would like to see the train lit during the darkness hours, especially considering the colour. I mean, it's the correct colour as per the real world, but it's essentially a dark train. But it would be nice to have it lit. So we pass over the terminal here. There you've got some parallaxing on this building, which looks brilliant, by the way. And there you can see inside the terminal from the side. There's the viewing area with people on top that we saw during the day. So let's get out to the taxiway very quickly, look at some signage. So taxiway signage, this is Alpha 3 looking from this side and from the other side. And again, you've got this nice option where it glows into the ground and looks pretty real. Blue airfield edge lights, a slightly different design for this model. And again, the centerline lights exactly the same. As we head up towards the active runway, plenty of lighting, plenty of lit signage as well, which is good. And again, you see blue airfield edge lights that denote the taxiways and clearly mark them from others. Very nice indeed. There you can see the end of the touchdown zone lighting. So here you've got additional parking below us. There's the control tower. And it looks good in the sunset, it looks good. Again, see parallaxing and independent lighting on the main building below. And that is really good. It looks good. It's a little bright, but it looks great. Again, you've got the inside of the control tower, sort of partial lighting up really only from the screens, but again, nobody inside. There's the view across the airport. I mean, the view looks great. You've got the moon up there to the left. But as you can see, some really stunning lighting and some parallaxing that makes it all look pretty real. It's so well done, this place. One of my favourites, I have to say. So again, travelling back across the runway, signage is as it should be everywhere. And here you've got the military part. I mean, it's great. Look, I mean, they've parallaxed almost every building that has big windows. It's stunning. And there you've got a hotel all lit up in the distance. This could be a fun place to get the helicopter out and have a look round. So much to see. So that was the airport at dusk, and as you can see, dusk is really rapidly coming down, as indeed it does in this part of the world. Let's bring it down to night time now. So 10 PM local time. As you can see, the all remnants of the sun have disappeared now, and we're in total darkness here. And the lighting's come up, and you've got this glow that's not quite white, but it's not quite sort of tungsten either. It's a very nice kind of glow here around the airport stands. I like it. It looks pretty realistic and very rustic. There we've got the control tower sitting between the two runways. There to the right you've got the taxiway that brings you in from 36 left towards the airport itself. So a little slow tour over airside, which is what you guys are really sort of interested in. Let's have a look at how it looks. Again, I really like the way the jetway ends are lit up. It all looks pretty impressive. Signage is good. There you can see inside the terminal. It's great, it really does look nice. Just the right amount of lighting. And there's my aircraft. And we carry on up further north here. Really no complaints. There's not a SODE globe in sight. It's brilliant. Some very tasteful good downlighting on some of these buildings here. Brings this area to life a bit during the evening. Very nice. And again you've got the blue airfield edge markers which denote the airport boundary, so you don't go over the top and onto the brickwork and fall into the sea below. So as we pass over, a quick look at landside. I can't get over the lighting, the way this looks. They've added so much detail, and it really does work. Well, it looks wonderful. You know, you've got the hint of seeing in through the buildings there. It just does it for me. It's a wonderful scenery. Okay, I've got one car stuck over the edge there, but that's the only thing, the only anomaly I've found so far. So there's the MAGLEV track. But it looks great, doesn't it? There's the MAGLEV train. It's such a pity that's not lit up. It would have been the icing on the cake for me to have that lit up. So once again, the last view from the cockpit. As you can see, this is what you'll see when you pull up on stand 43 at night time. And just for a change, a view out of the passenger window on the port side, and looking out through the starboard side. And should you be tempted, here's the view if you stick your nose up against the cockpit glass. Very nice indeed. So that was night time. Let's bring the dawn up, and if I'm in the right position, we should see the sun. Have the sun come up behind us. So 5:10 in the morning local time, and indeed you can see the red glow on the buildings that makes this look really good. There's the MAGLEV train down here, which is nicely lit in the sun. It's lovely, it really is. They're looking south, you've got the control tower in the distance. And looking north, you've got the harbour entrance there. Look in the distance. There's I believe there's a light here. I don't know if it's actually flashing. But there's a little searchlight that should be on. And here you've got the cargo area. And there we are, looking directly east as the sun rises from landside, from airside. It's just great. It's a lovely scenery, really is. Okay, 8 AM local time, and time to wrap this up and give you my thoughts. First thing to tell you is this is a huge project. It's been done in very high, stunning detail almost everywhere you look. Just about everything is textured and weathered. It's a stunning scenery, loads of detail, so much for you to explore that I hadn't looked at. You've got the port over here to look at too, and various off-airport buildings. So it really is a stunning piece of work, and probably for the first time I've got really no complaints about it. The only issue I have is you've got one car which seems to be halfway out of the car park, multi-story car park, but that's really nothing. It's not something you look at. The only things that stand out for me, and they're not real showstoppers, is having no people landside inside the terminal when they've landed so many of them airside. I mean, I get that to some extent. You put up on the stand, you look through the window from the right deck like we did just now, and you'll see these people through the windows, and that's fine. If you flood airside lounge with people, you'll be able to see them, and I get that. But again, it's to some extent about what Flight Simulator is able to give us and show us. Would have been nice that they've modelled landside to such a nice detailed degree. You can even see the signs up close. They're all really clear. But we've got no people inside the landside part of the terminal. A couple of check-in staff and a few people would have been nice. But again, that's new nitpicking. It doesn't detract from the scenery at all. And the only other thing, it would be nice to see a controller or two in the tower. But, you know, the NAVAIDS are all correct. Approach lighting, runways, taxiways, everything you want. As a pilot, you're going to have no problem at all. And if you fancy getting a light aircraft or a helicopter out, I would venture to say there's loads to see here. It's really good. I would really like to see them light up the train, because it would look great at dusk to see it moving along the track as a lighted facility. It would look great. But those are my only issues. This is a fantastic product. Do I think it's worth the price? At the moment, it's just under 20 euros from Simmarket, including tax, remember? And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it's amazing. I was flying out of Hong Kong the other day. I've got the WF Scenery Studios Hong Kong, which also is quite a substantial project. And that's nearly 29-30 euros. And yet here you've got NAHA that looks almost as big and just as detailed, and it's like 10 euros cheaper. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely worth the price. And to be honest, if the offer at CONTRIAL shop for £13.65 UK, which is about $15.50, if that includes tax, that's a steal. You know, get it. I mean, whatever you think, the airport's certainly worth buying. At the prices it's available at the moment, it's certainly worth buying. It's a stunning piece of work. MK Studios are continuing to evolve in what they're able to do, and whether you like Japan or not, it's an amazing airport. It really is. I've yet to take off from this. We arrived a couple of days ago on my world tour, and we're doing the next leg to Narita, Tokyo. So I'll be taking off of this. I'm going to try and film that. So yeah, no hesitation about recommending it. It's a wonderful piece of work, and also, by the way, although I contacted MK Studios, I wasn't able to get in touch with them, so I bought the scenery, and yeah, I will use it. It's I've really got no regrets about buying it at all. It's wonderful. I'm all about encouraging developers rather than, I mean, you have to criticise certain things that you'd expect. You know, we're now nearly 4 years into this product, this scenery that's or this simulator rather, that's gone on and got better and better, and you've got some absolutely incredible sceneries around. Here's one of them, by the way. So it's right, I think, to sort of point out the things that you think should be there these days and which aren't, but at the same time it should be done in such a way as to encourage these developers to improve and update and get better, not to sort of throw them in the bin. Because they spend a lot of time and effort bringing all this pleasure to us flight simmers and bringing us the world at our desktop. Right guys, so there you are, NAHA International Airport on the island of Okinawa in western Japan. Romeo Oscar Alpha Hotel. PIERS scenery by MK Studios. This is the release version 1 for Flight Sim 2020. Coming in at 1.6 gigs for download and installing just under 2.4 gigs. You can get it from Simmarket, Orbix or CONTRIAL. CONTRIAL have an offer on at the moment, and you'll have to see whether or not that price includes tax. If it does, it's a steal, and I'd go for it. But I give you the Simmarket prices because we know they include tax. It's available at €19.79 or $21.68 US or £16.90 UK. As always, US and UK prices are estimates taken from the euro, and they include tax or VAT at 20%, which could vary depending on where you are when you make the purchase. It's a stunning piece of work. Looks wonderful in the darkness hours, as do many sceneries. This is no exception. And it's a complete product practically. MK Studios, if you're watching this, thank you for producing such an amazing product. It's great, and I'm a big supporter of your work. If you find the time for version 1.2, light up the train at night. That would be a real show stealer for this. Maybe put a couple of controllers in the control tower, and maybe think of adding a smattering of people in the landside area of the terminal. You've done a great job with the rest of it. Just seems a bit ghostly like in the landside when you've got all those check-in desks. But again, just nitpicking. You don't have to do any of that. The airport stands alone as a really nice piece of work. So there you go. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching and spending the time listening to my tirade and having a look at these places with me. I tried to give you the best sort of good close-up look at these places so that you can decide if you want to spend your money. So take care, fly safe as always. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, signing off for another review. Take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.